Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. You have found yourself in another installment of New Stamps? Now what? The only web series wherein a middle-aged crafter takes something I've never used and I use them. Kind of the point of the series. I'm going to take some stuff today from Pinkfresh Studio. It's a very involved card, but I'm going to tell you what, the results, well, you just have to stick around, see how they turned out for yourself. That video is coming up next. So let's take a look at the new stamps and stencils and dies that I'm going to use today. This is the inspiration. It is called Holiday Ornaments, and I'm going to show you the back to show you what these stencils allow you to create. How cool is that, right? We're gonna make some magic here, hopefully. And how many stencils are in here? Let's go. There are 4 layers to this stencil. So that's going to be a fun one to use, right? And I've got the coordinating die for cutting out that stuff. Now I wanted to also show you another greeting. So this has a greeting with it. You can do the Merry Christmas, right? And die cut that out. Or if you wanted to, and I am kind of a sucker for this type of typography, there's this wonderful Perfect Sentiments holiday. So I decided, you know what? We're going new stamps, new dies, and check this out. This cuts everything out at once. So if you stamp this whole thing out, right? You just pop it together and you've got all these greetings ready to roll. I've pulled a bunch of Pinkfresh Studio inks. I got a few here off to the side, and we're just gonna jump in and start stenciling some Christmas goodness. I like to keep my little guide here just so I remember what I'm doing. I've got my stencils, and my piece of paper here is pushed into the corner. I'm gonna take my first stencil, and all of these stencils are numbered. There are also crop marks, but you know, if you do this in a Misty, then you don't even have to worry about that. It's just kind of a genius hack to use your Misty for stenciling. So I am going to mask off the first ornament because I don't want to just accidentally slide over. Before I start, I just want to clean off my brush from, this is my Simon Says Stamp blender brush. Love these brushes. And we are going to start out with the color Coral Reef. This is going to be the lighter of my 2 colors here on this ornament. Let's get this loaded up here. Everything's into the corner, and I'm just going to add my color. Let's blend that in like that. All right, color number 1, moving on. I am going to go to color number 2. So I'm working in a, it's a rainbow order. So I'm going to do Roy red. Well, this is I always group my pinks into red because I'm a sucker for the pinks. But we're going to move on to the next color, which is going to be Peach Fuzz. I don't wash my brushes very often. I just do the old tap them off, good to go, blend. I do tend to keep, though, just, for example, these brushes I only use with traditional dye inks. I recently bought another set of these brushes to use only with oxide or pigment inks. So I never feel, like it's going to hurt anything by mixing different manufacturers' lines, because I use a lot of different manufacturers when I am making cards. And the next color that's coming in is going to be Lemon Whip. Very pretty light yellow. And I'll load up my brush like that and just come in here and blend. It's very pretty yellow. All right. Such a smart design. Oh, I love it. Take off our tapes, which I will use again. The tapes. And that reveals layer number 1. Now, reposition, right, push it back in, and I'm going to grab stencil number 2. And if you can read it upright, you know you're good. And I will, again, push this into place, magnet down. Now, if you'll notice here, this has the toppers, right? And let's see, is that all we have on here? Just toppers? Toppers and little stars. Now, I'm not going to use those stars because I am going to die cut this out. So let me grab, I am going to do the tops in Misty Coast. Oh, and I'm going to use a smaller blender brush because, you know, you got the smaller little places. Why not, you know, why not just go for it? Why not just have it be light and pretty? So I'll just, I mean, again, I'm going to die cut it, so it doesn't matter. Although, you know what? I want you to see what it looks like without the stars. So there we go. All right. Now we'll bring you in. So easy. Gray toppers. Okay. Let's do that guy there. Grab a little more ink. Tap off. The only reason I tap off sometimes is because I want it to have maybe a lighter, softer feel. You know? It doesn't have to be perfect, although this one now does look a little darker up here, doesn't it? I'm going to add a little more just right in there. Okay. And we'll go right into this little friend. Like that. Okay. All right. Toppers topped. Pick that up and you can see how cute that is. Stencil 3. Again, all lined up in the corner. I'm going to take my tapes though, because I also have the little details on the little ornament toppers and I want to mask that. Well, now that didn't work, Cathy. I want to mask those off so that I don't get any color in these as I bring in my darker shades. And I will be using my other little blender brushes, the smaller ones, because I have 2 sizes. And again, these are also wonderful, and I absolutely love having the smaller brushes for the little detailed areas. So we're going to bring in Candy Apple. Candy Apple, like that. It's so dark, so pretty, right? Go like that. Go like that. Ooh, lovely detail. I'm going to go with my next orange, which will be Apricot. And I also have an orange brush here. I think it's clean enough. Okay. Load that up, tap, and bring these details in. It's just such a smart design. Oh, I love it. Many of you may know or not know that I design stamp products and dies and whatnot for Simon Says Stamp, but I always love seeing what other companies come up with. I am a fan of designers who make smart products because I don't make all the smart products. I make a few. But I don't do layered stencils, and it's a goal of mine to kind of develop some ideas in the future. But then again, when you've got such good ones from companies like Pinkfresh, well, you know, just enjoy the ride. All right, it's time to do the detail on the gray toppers. This will just add a little darkness to those little details. That's it, like that. Okay, like that. Like that, so simple. So cute. I love it. Look at that though. Isn't that just so fun? How perfectly it all lines up. Okay, moving on to the final stencil. And this, again, always double check when you're repositioning that you are positioned. Now, I may or may not use the Merry Christmas greeting. Haven't decided yet, but I'm going to do it all, right? But I'm going to take Fresh Pear for the greenery. Now, this is a light color, not too light. It's got some depth to it. And I may do a little blending. We'll see. I might add a second color in too, so we'll see. We'll first lay down a nice little bit of Fresh Pear. Like that. Nice and soft and pretty. Okay, like that. And now, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that is good enough. Maybe I don't need, I could try to darken it like that. Just, you know, kind of fade it a little. That's the other thing with stencils. You know, when you keep going back over, you can kind of get that light and have it faded out there a little at the top. Would that be cute? Let's see. I can put it back in. That's kind of pretty. I like it. Here's what I'm going to do for the Merry Christmas, because I think this would be cute. I am going to take Misty Coast and I'm going to load it up, but I'm going to tap a lot of it off, because what I think could be cute is to have a very soft and light Merry Christmas in gray. It's very neutral. It will show up. Like right now, it doesn't probably look like much of anything, but have faith. Have faith in the system, because I think what I'm going to try to do, maybe it needs a little more, is just create a little ombre coming up from the bottom with the darker ink. Let's try that. And then grab this brush again, because I think we can just do this tone on tone. Check it out. I mean, it might not look good, but it might. It might look fantastic. Might be the best thing I've ever done. Oh, look at that. Oh, I mean, I think I went too high up on the A, but maybe not. We'll see. Let's just lift this up and see if that has a cool effect. I mean, it kind of does. You know, it might be a little light on top. I'm just going to hold that back into place like that and just give that a little more once over, just because I think it might be a little too light up there. How about that? Better? Yeah. I have lined this up to the best of my ability. I have already decided in my mind that I'm not going to use that little Merry Christmas at the bottom, because I really do want to try this other stamp set. So knowing that, we're going in and we're cutting it out. Let's see what it looks like. See, that is a separate piece anyway. Yeah, I don't love that for the color that I chose, but let's see what this looks like. Because the fact, oh, it cuts them all out separately. What? You know what we say to that? Live and learn. For some reason, I thought that was all one piece. It never dawned on me. How cool is that? That's what happens when you make something for the first time. Let me pop this out. Oh, that is so cute. Look at those cute ornaments. Holy cute. Okay, that is so stinking cute. Okay, I need to move on to doing the stamping of the greetings. I am a sucker for multi-greeting stamps, and this is going to be cool. Let's pick this up. Now, I just want to make sure that all the bubbles are out here, so I just kind of press my fingers, work my way across, because you can see, right? See those little areas of bubble? You kind of want to, well, let's see, can I lift and get them out that way? Probably. Just kind of push them down, let them go. I think you're good to go. And of course, it will get more conditioned over time. Embossing magic. Here, this is my little guy, and just give it a nice once over. I have clear sticky ink, my embossing ink from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm just going to ink this stamp up. The nice thing about multi-greeting, oh my goodness, can you hear the thunder in the background? I am filming during a massive thunderstorm. If the sirens go off, I'll have to pause and go to the basement. That's what we do in the Midwest. All right. Picking that up, making sure we're still in the corner. I'm going to do it one more time. Just ink it up. Just want this to be inked as well as possible, but again, knowing that I'm going to have lots of options once this is all stamped, I love that. All right, Simon Says Stamp Ultrafine Antique Gold. It's one of my favorite golds. It's very warm, homey. It's not brassy. It's just a warm gold, and I use this. Well, I use it a lot when I'm going with the gold. When I'm going for the gold. Now, someone was watching me live and said, "Whoa, that's a lot of powder to put on." Friends, don't be stingy. That's why we collect the powder on this paper, right? So that then we can look at what we stamped. See, some of them I didn't stamp as well as others. And of course, as it gets more conditioned, I'm gonna nail it every time. But the reason you put a lot on is so that you get really good coverage. I missed a little in the center, little Peace and Joy Noel, but I've got plenty to work with here. So let's just funnel it right back in. Look at that, just like magic. Waste not, want not. But I do keep a Swiffer cloth to wipe away any extra powder that's on my work surface. I'm going to be using my new tool here. Now, I just recently became the owner of a Ranger heated tool. It embosses slower, but it keeps everything kind of nice and flat. And you can use the Simon Says stamp positively like I love doing this. You got your clothespin, you got this. It's so quiet too. Let it warm up here and then we'll melt the powder. And actually I think do I want to pick it up so I can see? It's just a different kind of melting. It's a very diffused, I like it. It's just a slower process, you know, and I don't know. I mean, do we like speed? Do we have a need for speed? I am so full of Top Gun references, it's hilarious. I think I've used this now in a handful of videos, and I guess the thing that I like the most is that my paper doesn't warp in the way that it does with the Wagner. Maybe too, and if any of you have this tool, tell me in the comments, does the diffusion of heat actually make it so it's harder to overheat your powder? You know how that happens sometimes when you overheat your powder and then it kind of loses its chutzpah, so to speak? Look at that though, and look at the lack of warp. I mean, is it me? I'm not imagining this, right? I'm not sure if I placed my stamp down a little wonky, but I don't know if I can get all of these lined up. So that just could be user error too. So I'm going to use my Gemini Junior and see what shakes out. All right, let's see what I did. Because I think when I lifted it up to get all the bubbles out, I think I kind of mucked up the cuts. And that, oh no, actually that looks really good. Well, that looks perfect. I think when I lifted it up, I shifted the stamp. Don't do that. Oh, look at that cutie. And those all have little centers that pop out. I got that one a little off as well. I mean, again, look at all these greetings. And Happy New Year. That's a nice greeting to have as well. Now it's time to move on to building this card project. I've had people ask about this Altenew mat that you see a lot of card makers use. And the one thing that's kind of cool about it is this outline is a US A2, so 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall. Same thing on this way, right? And one of the things that you can do with this, which is kind of neat, is you can actually use it to help you line things up, right? So what if let me get my craft pick. I find this to be a little tedious, but this is so worth the effort. So what I'm going to do here is make sure that everything is lined up. See how that's lined up there and that's lined up there? Because I want to make space, right, for my merry and bright greeting. I'm still not, or holiday cheer, but I like this arrangement. So now here's what I need to do. I'm going to take the magic of press and seal, place this down onto your nicely organized and lined up pieces. Now sometimes what I do, I even take a bone folder, just really make sure that it's on there. And this way we're going to be able to pick it up, add foam tape, do all the things. I also like to fold over the sides. Try that again. There we go. Okay. I'm going to add foam squares to the back here, and then I'm going to get our card base ready because this is going to basically be a 1-layer card with just a few little cute things for the greetings. I have my foam square strategically placed. All right, we're going to set that aside. So this will be a top folding US A2 card. And actually, did I grab the wrong cardstock? I did. You know how I can tell? This is Gina K, and I can tell because it's smoother. Interesting story. She has a very smooth cardstock. I use both, right? I use some, if I'm doing a video with Gina's products, I always use her cardstock, but it's a very super smooth and it just feels a little smoother than Neenah Solar White. All right, card base achieved. Now, I'm going to fold this down like that. And because this is such heavy cardstock, very nice idea to have it be flat when we are coming in to place the element, which is this. Now see, this is why I like this, because now when I go to place this down, right, we don't have an issue. We're not going to have an issue. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. I'll get all of these off. Oops, don't do that. Okay, you got to be careful when you're taking the backers off. Don't do as I do, do as I say. I actually picked it up right off there we go. It's delicate. I tell you, it's like surgery. I'm going to take just a little liquid glue and just dab a little onto the foam squares so that I have the slightest amount of playtime before placing and committing. Now I can see through. I'm going to come right up here and just look at the center, side to side, the branch, and I'm focusing more on the ornaments being centered and the branch being offset. Let go. That looks about the same from side to side. And let me grab a block. Sometimes you have to whisper. Do you remember that commercial? If you want to get someone's attention, whisper. I'm just pressing this down, letting it adhere like a holiday cheer off to the side, or we can have a little popped up holiday cheer. I think holiday cheer, I don't know. You know what? While that's doing, let's grab thin foam squares, the real heroes. The real heroes of the day. Now we've got these popped up. I'm not quite sure yet which I'm going to use, but I think we're ready for the reveal. Are you ready for the reveal? Press. Lift. And now when I take the press and seal off, oh my gosh, that is just some magic. Look at how pretty that is. I love it. And now, oh gosh, isn't that cute? Do we want it to be that? Or do we want it to be merry? And you know what? Holiday cheer. It's holiday cheer by a landslide. If I offset this, right? And that, you kind of envision that plane. Oh, I think that's wonderful. Okay. Someone said it makes them nervous when I glue over the project, but let me tell you this. We're never going to drop it. Okay, that never said. Now I'm just totally cursed myself. We are going to put holiday cheer right there. And of course, we have just ever so slight wiggle time. See that? So we make sure it's straight. I am loving this. We've already been at this for the longest time in history, but should we do some bling? Because these little dots, these little gold confetti, are very, I don't know if I like, I don't know. You know, sometimes I think I want to do something, but it's sometimes hard to know. I don't want to say when to stop, right? Because we already have such a sweet design. You know, do we really need bling? And I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would need 7. Because I'm a sucker for the odd number. Sometimes too, it is simply a matter of moving things around until you have an arrangement that maybe feels good. What if I took one larger dude, right, like that, and popped that in? Because right now I'm using 2 sizes, but what if I used the 3? Does that make a difference? Because I think sometimes having a little different weight represented in your sequins. In fact, that might need to be that. Okay, that's the middle. That's the mid-sized one. Sometimes that makes a difference. I'm gonna go for it. I think I'm forgetting my own mantra, which is it's just paper. It's just paper. So let's have some fun. Let's put some shine on a card to tell that recipient, I went the distance for you. Okay. Did I tell you about someone who's watching the video recently doesn't like boop? Oh, boop. And you know what? It's fine. Not everyone can boop, but you know what? The boop is boop for everyone. It doesn't discriminate. If I may take a page out of boop, Laura Basson's book, boop is life. Boop. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was the right call. Little dabble do ya. Boop. And we are done. Ah. That is my finished card project. I have not had this much fun from beginning to end making something that is like starting with stencils and ending up with this, and then look at the nice little dimension and texture that you have. I think that is freaking awesome, and there's no way I can make a second card because I have no idea how long we've been here. All space and time I've lost track of, but hopefully you have enjoyed. You can find all the supplies that I used in today's video linked below in the information box. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here with another card project soon. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.